On today's episode of the Bootstrap Biz Advice Show, I'm going to teach you how to make an infographic using Canva. Infographics are a fantastic tool for demonstrating concepts in your business, and they also make incredible lead magnets. I'm super excited to take you step by step through the process from an idea to finished JPEG and PDF. If you would like access to my VIP Vault, which is my epic resource library, filled with video tutorials, cheat sheets, checklists, and even stock photos for free, visit LaShondaBrown.com or click on the link in the description. Without further ado, let's hop in. The purpose of an infographic is to make a complicated process more simple. So a couple applications could be, for a nonprofit, if you can simplify the process of donating money to your organization, you will receive more donations if you can help overcome that barrier. For a small business, perhaps you want to outline the process for how you create a website to show people the attention to detail that your organization takes to help people go from point A to point B. In this video, we're going to create an infographic on the spot for Rotary. I'm a member of this organization and I'm constantly explaining to people how to go on the Rotary site to donate to the different funds that we have in our foundation. So what I strongly recommend before you go into designing an infographic is to actually write down every single step a person has to go through in order to complete the action you want them to make. So the first action I would need people to do is go to Rotary.org. So I would just open up a simple Word doc and I would say, go to www.rotary.org. And then I would go back to the site and see what would the next step be. Okay, so when I look at the site, the easiest way to donate would be to click on donate in the top right corner. And so that's going to be the second step. Click on donate in the top right corner. The more specific you can be, the more effective your infographic will be. Now, once you click on donate, it looks like they have to scroll down and click on the red donate button. Scroll down, click on the red donate button. Once they do that, it should pull up the donate screen. Let's see what happens. And this is so important. You've got to walk through the steps to make sure that it is so blatantly clear. So it looks like what they do is they pull up a very simple donation form. So I would say select the area you would like to support. Select the area you would like to support. And maybe even say the default selection is annual fund, just to remind them. After that, it looks like they need to, here's a spot. If you would like to make this donation in honor of someone, so we'll make a comment. If you would like to make the donation in honor of someone, check the select that option before completing the form. Let's see, after that, select your country, select your currency, select your country, select your currency, select your donation type, and we'll say, and select your donation type. Now you can see here that there are two options. And so perhaps as you're walking through your steps, you may need to specify, what does recurring donation mean? So what you need to do is just go ahead and select that option just to see what would pop up for someone. This is really important. You can't be vague with an infographic because people assume every single step is outlined for them. So what we'll say is select your country, select your currency and donation type. Reoccurring donations are available. Let's see the frequency. Monthly, quarterly, or annually are available monthly, quarterly, or annually. After that, select the amount and sign in if you have a login, or sign in as a guest. And so those are all the steps someone would have to walk through in order to donate money on the Rotary site. So now that we have outlined all the steps, what we need to do is to go into Canva, and we've got some decisions to make. So once you open up Canva, if you've already created designs in Canva 1.0, you will still be able to edit those designs in 1.0. However, creating a design brand new, that is going to be with the 2.0 interface. So just know you may have access to both types of Canva programs depending on what designs you have on your profile. So when I open up Canva, I'm already logged in. I'm seeing Canva 2.0. So it looks a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. We can select Browse All in the top right-hand corner, and that's going to show us all the different options. Now, the amazing thing about 2.0 is they have added a lot of different templates. Some of the new templates include Facebook stories, Instagram stories, WhatsApp stories. You can do invoices in Canva now, reports, memos. So make sure if you haven't gotten familiar with the new template on the platform that you hop in. Now remember, every single template has different sizing, and so it's important for you to hover over these selections to make sure that you're creating a document that is the right size for you. So if you hover over infographic, you'll see that it is 800 pixels by 2000 pixels. So if you were planning on printing your infographic on a sheet of paper, these are not going to be the same dimensions as an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So before you go design your document, I would highly recommend make sure that you know the size you would ultimately like to print. If you don't feel like printing it, if you plan on emailing this or embedding it on a website, then you can definitely start with the infographic template. But I just want to specify that for you. Now 2.0 does a much better job helping you to resize designs after you've created them. But in my opinion, it's just easier to start with the correct size. So what we're going to do for the purpose of this demonstration is we're just going to go ahead and open up the infographic template on Canva. Once the infographics load, you're going to see all the different options available. And what I love about Canva 2.0 is they actually categorize the types of templates available. So on the top, you're going to see business infographic, education infographic, charity infographic, process infographic, timeline, and then you're going to see all the different results. So I really like that they categorize them on this particular template. And so what I like to do when I start designing is actually try to find a template that looks like the end product I had in mind. So what I'm really hoping to do is to show a process, really. And so a process infographic is a good fit. So let's click on all and let's see all of the process template options that are available. Now the rotary colors are also blue and yellow, so perhaps as you walk through this, you may want to pick a template that's already the color scheme of your organization because there really are a lot to choose from. So I think what I will do is I will pick this one at the top, and we're going to go ahead and click on it to load up that design on the right hand side. Now in 2.0, you're going to see some options at the bottom. You have Zoom, Page Manager, and full screen. I personally don't like using full screen, but I do need it a bit bigger than what it's defaulting to. So I'm going to select, I think 75 would be a good fit. All right. And so the first thing I would recommend doing is taking a look at the fonts and the colors to see, is this in line with my brand colors? If you have paid for the professional version of Canva, you should have your brand fonts and colors loaded in as part of your brand kit. So what I can quickly do is this shade of blue, I can make it the rotary blue. And as you can see down here, I have rotary. Here is my palette. I have other palettes available here, and I'm just gonna click on there and change all the backgrounds to make them the blue that I need them to be. And there you go. All of those have changed. Now, I know I'm not going to be using those, so I can go ahead and delete those. Free that up. All right. At the top, we've got this fancy font here, which is not quite on brand. So I'm going to go ahead and search the font. And as you can see, you'll see the document fonts, but then you'll see the brand fonts you have downloaded and loaded into Canva. And after you get through your brand fonts, then you see the default fonts that are available within Canva. So for the rotary brand, we actually use Open Sans, which is a default in Canva. So I'll just type that in and I'll change that copy. And as I walk through, I'll go ahead and change that font. So like I said, the easiest thing to do is to start by making sure that everything matches your brand. And this may affect your spacing, but you can always go back and make that edit. What I will do next is go to my Word doc and use that as a reference of what to put in the infographic, and I will rejoin you to show you how I take the infographic to the next level with the use of clip art. So what I did is I went through my Word doc and I threw in what we had decided were the steps in the process. And I changed some of the colors to match the brand. So I would choose your color palette for your infographic and try to stick to that color scheme because it's a great way to make it look super uniform. So as you can see, there's a couple things that need to be tweaked to get the design to look the way I want it to look. So first and foremost, I wanted to have how to in capital letters above this text. So what I'm going to do is simply hit copy, and I'm going to highlight everything and say how to in all caps, and I'll click and move it. Donate to the Rotary Foundation. Now I know that I want Rotary Foundation on the same line, so I'm just going to drag it and place these where I want them to go. And if for some reason there wasn't enough room or it went over the edge, then I can make those final adjustments. So I really like the way this looks with the short line, a line it kind of looks like a little pyramid. So I like the way that looks. So that looks great. The next step is I happen to add the Rotary logo on the next section. Now in Canva 2.0, I had to search for where is logo. So if you look on the left-hand side, you will see your elements and everything. And now that I had it selected, logos appears here. If you don't see logos, I would click on folders and you can also find logos there. So in the previous version of Canva, the folders didn't really mean much, but as you can see in 2.0, it really makes it easier to use. So feel free to utilize the folder option. And if you can't find your brand logos, they may be hiding in there. So we pulled the logo from there. In the next section, we added in some clip art. And again, I changed the colors to match the brand. So all I did was I clicked on elements and I typed in donation. And when I did a search, it pulled up some clip art. And so this is what the clip art looked like when I dropped it in. So in order to make it match my brand, I just looked at the top left corner and I made those adjustments based on my brand colors. So that's how that worked. I did the same thing to put in the money bags. So as you can see here, it looks like the text is kind of hitting the bottom of the box. So we're going to need to click there and just wait until you see those little 4 arrows intersecting and just click and move that up. This section looks good. That one looks good. So really what we need to do is to find 2 more clip art styles. So I think for select your country, currency, or donation type, maybe a flag would be a good one to choose for this one. And so I'm just going to type in flag and let's see here. This looks pretty generic. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that. And again, you see we've got some color options. So I'm going to change the hand and make the hand yellow. And I'll change the flag and maybe make the flag white. And so once I make the changes that I want to make, I can just click and resize. And if you're using a white document, you may find that the dots are a little bit hard to see. So what I like to do is just drag it over the edge so I can get a better understanding of where the corners are. And I think letting that hang off the edge looks pretty good. All right, the last one, let's see, sign in with your user ID or sign in as a guest. So maybe a computer would be a good fit for that. And perhaps you don't want to pay for any clip art, so you can select free only and it will filter through the selection. So you won't have to worry about getting attached to a certain type of clip art that is actually paid clip art. So I'll do a little search for computer. We've got some options that popped up. And I'm thinking, let's see here. This one looks pretty good. And so that one is mostly black. And so we'll just make the outline white. That'll make that stand out a bit more on this background. And so once again, I'm just dragging it over to the side so I can see where their corners are. Make it smaller. And we're going to put that right there. All right, so at the bottom, you may want to throw in your logo. So we're just going to take this one here. And we're going to click and resize that just to put it at the very bottom. And so as you can see, as I click and drag, it's showing me where my center is. So that looks pretty good there. Perfect. All right, so now if you scroll through, I think everything looks good. So if you wanted to do a multi-page infographic, what you could do is just copy the page, and that would add a second page that would be a direct duplicate of what you created above, and then you could just make small changes. I won't be needing that for this option, so we'll just go ahead and delete that. And now it's time to save the document. So it will default to naming your template exactly, naming your document exactly what the template was named. So let's go ahead and change that to how to donate. And so let's walk through what some of the options are in Canva 2.0. So we're going to hit download and it's going to show us some options here. We've got PNG, JPEG, your standard format, which is going to create a standard email size PDF, or you can select PDF print, and that's going to give you a higher quality PDF. So if you're planning on using this infographic maybe on a table at a donor event, I would select PDF print. And if you are taking it to a professional printer, you're going to want crop marks and bleed, and that allows them to trim your document without cutting off any of your content. So if you want to print it, my suggestion would be to select PDF print and click on crop marks and bleed. If you don't plan on printing, JPEG is going to be the smallest file size, and PNG is going to give you a high quality image. The final thing is right now there's actually a beta of Microsoft PowerPoint. So this is slowly but surely rolling out. And so if you were to create a presentation in Canva 2.0, you could actually create a PowerPoint file directly from Canva. So I think that's an awesome addition. So all I'll do is just select PNG, don't need a transparent background. I'll hit download, and it will automatically start the process of preparing my design so that I can use it. I hope this video was useful to you. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, visit about90marketing.com/getsocial. Once you're there, you'll be able to sign up for a free 15-minute consultation to see if I can help you with your marketing needs. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to do that because I teach people how to grow their biz without breaking the bank. Until next time, ta-ta for now.